सो दैट मीन्स अब दुबई नहीं जाना पड़ेगा किसी को गोल्ड खरीदने के लिए। 3 जुलाई को सिल्वर का प्राइस गया था, आई थिंक 96,000।
Silver could touch 1 lakh. We are near the support zone, 68,000.
हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम टू ओ माय फाइनेंस। आई एम योर फाइनेंशियल फ्रेंड चारू गर्ग। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं कि आप कैसे प्रेशियस मेटल्स या कमोडिटीज यानी कि गोल्ड और सिल्वर में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हैं, और इज इट द राइट टाइम टू इन्वेस्ट इन गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर. So we'll have a special guest with us. We have Manav Modi. He's Senior Analyst, Commodity Research, Motilal Oswal Financial Services Limited. मानव, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका. वेलकम टू द शो.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So pleasure is all ours, Manav. So we gonna have a very healthy conversation, क्योंकि आज हम अपने ऑडियंस को आपके थ्रू बताना चाहते हैं कि कैसे वो गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, क्या कुछ उनको जानने की जरूरत है, और इज इट द राइट टाइम, और वो कैसे शुरुआत करें जिन्होंने अभी तक इन्वेस्ट नहीं करा है. मानव, शो शुरुआत करती हूँ. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा आपसे ये होगा. वी हैव सीन लास्ट वीक, सब जगह पे ग्लोबल क्रैश, एंड देयर वाज अ fear of the recession also in US. So plus we see the geopolitical tensions also. एक तो ईरान इसराइल वॉर, plus the
Right,
Bangladesh
right.
crisis, that has impacted the Indian businesses a lot. So is it the right time? Because that considering the equities, सो इन्वेस्टर्स को जो है अभी इस टाइम प्रेशियस मेटल्स की तरफ मूव करना चाहिए. गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर में इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए क्या ये सही समय होगा?
I think the first question is only about the geopolitical tensions, recessions, and a lot of macro things, and these factors are only the which drive the commodities as a whole segment. Now, you mentioned a couple of things I want to highlight in the answer. You mentioned first about the geopolitical tension. Yes, that is a big part and a big factor which drive the safe haven asset that we call gold and silver both. Now, gold has we've already seen it reacting since the start of this year. Even if I leave the past years, that is from 2020, where we saw the pandemic happened, then the Russia-Ukraine war in 2022, Israel-Hamas in 23. Even if I exclude that, in 2024 only, we've already come across a lot of events and factors which come under the geopolitical segment. China Taiwan is one which is under development. Israel Palestine has escalated, quite a lot. So that has already, impacted and supported the gold price. Now, you mentioned one term, that is recession fears. I think recession as a term is very loosely used of late, because as per theoretically, if you see 2 quarters negative, quarterly number, GDP number is equal to a recession. But now, even after 2 months of lower jobs number is also coined as recession is coming. So I feel recession is still far away, because US GDP is above 2% mark on the positive side, and that is after lot of interest rate hikes in the past 1.5 year. You see the retail sales, you see the PMI number as well, above the 50 mark. So all these numbers are, I think, well above the mark. There are some concerns in the past 1 or 2 months, definitely to be noted. But I think to call it a recession is still far away. But the sentiment is such, it's still supportive. One highlight for gold and silver has been the interest rate expectations from the US central bank. So from 2022 to 23, we've come from 0% to 5% or 5.5% interest rate for the US. Now, since 2024 start, market participants are expecting a cut. Now that cut has not happened yet, but the discounting of the cut has been already, increasing the range for gold and silver. So because until the time the cut does not happen, the range has always been, higher, and interest rate and gold silver has an inverse correlation as a, nature. So till the time cut doesn't happen, I think it will inherently be a part of that pricing in for gold silver. So all in all, there are a few supportive factors which, if not now, will eventually play out. And on the negative side, I think we'll talk in the, through course of this podcast and the discussion, I think with you, that why the fall also happened and what needs to go ahead. But I think quite a few supportive factors for gold and silver.
Okay, so can we say that is it the right time so that we can the seeing the all the correction in the equity? So can we start investing in these gold and silver?
Oh, sure. I think if you look at equities, I'll not be able to comment much, but definitely equities have been, since 2020, we've not seen a big kind of a dip coming in. Equity market has always been, given in decent returns for, all the investors. But definitely gold and silver also has been pretty much in line. If you look at the returns perspective from 2020, just 21 was a bit of a inline. If you look at the interest, if you look at the returns gains, but since 2020, gold, silver both have performed well. I still feel the like we mentioned the fundamentals, like we talk about the factors. I think no major fundamental changes has happened. Just the yen carry trade unwinding, which happened in the previous week, and the interest rate cut expectations, which has been continuously changing. Only that has, slightly impacted the overall sentiment, that has weighed on the overall gold and silver both, and one that led to a significant fall. And I think it's in favor for all the investors. Gold and silver has a tendency to have this kind of a, cycle coming in, and the factors that we are discussing, or have been talked about, I think in a staggered manner. If you can't go all in, I still feel if you want to invest 100 rupees, say you can start with investing say 30-40 rupees now, then again can buy at a certain dip and start investing then. But you should be invested. Gold, silver, both should be there in the portfolio.
मानव ऑलरेडी आपने जवाब दे दिया है. मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन भी इसी से रिलेटेड है. सेकंड क्वेश्चन आई विल कम टू. सो आई वांट टू नो, और दी आर इन्वेस्टर्स, आवर ऑडियंस वांट्स टू नो, बिकॉज बजट के बाद हमने बजट अनाउंसमेंट्स में हमने देखा टैक्स को लेके बहुत ज्यादा हुआ डिस्कशन. एलटीसीजी, एसटीसीजी, रियल एस्टेट की बात करें,
राइट.
और अपार्ट फ्रॉम अगर मैं अदर एसेट क्लास में मैं बोलूंगी, सो इक्विटी हो गया, बॉन्ड्स हो गया, हमारे फिक्स्ड इनकम हो गए, सो उसके बाद से क्या कुछ ज्यादा प्रेफरेंस बढ़ा है गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर के टुवर्ड्स दैट?
Yeah, I think like we talked about the 9% duty cut, it was much of a surprise from the budget that not many were expecting in the market. There was an expectations that at least 5% का एक cut होगा from the budget outcome, and that will be purely on gold. But 9% cut was a big surprise for the market. Definitely, it will support the demand, but it might take some time to get the impact of the same on the jewelers and the retailers part. Maybe a month or two more, and naturally also even at a higher import duty at say 15, which was earlier, we had a good amount of imports coming in India. If we look at since 2024, gold we had already imported about more, say I think 300 tons of gold import was there in India, and silver was more than 4,000 tons. So this was definitely coming in from the SEPA route or the SEPA deal. But now lower import duty will further boost the demand is what the market sentiment says. But the impact might come in at a delayed pace.
Okay. ड्यूटी कट की आपने बात करी. माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फॉर ड्यूटी कट ओनली. दैट हैज इम्पैक्टेड द प्राइस गैप बिटवीन इंडिया एंड दुबई. So can we say that it is gonna impact, or it is gonna boost more demand and more production of gold?
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, the delayed impact definitely will be there in Indian market terms, because earlier the jewelers and the Indian bullion, holders had bought the gold or any other form at maybe a higher rate. Now they have to adjust according to the price change. And the Dubai route, like I mentioned, the SEPA deal, which earlier happened, India used to get a 1% benefit out of importing the gold. Now the duty as such has reduced, so definitely Indian gold might be more attractive for Indian consumers as a whole, and it could support the demand overall. So for this year, definitely the overall demand cycle, if you look at the recent WGC report as well, the demand expectation has as such has been on the higher side, so I think it's looking pretty attractive.
So that means अब दुबई नहीं जाना पड़ेगा किसी को गोल्ड खरीदने के लिए.
Sure, sure. I think fair enough. That duty change definitely could support the overall demand.
या रेट कट का बहुत ज्यादा इंतजार है, और लास्ट वीक भी वही सेम रहा जो एक्सपेक्टेशन था. फॉर द 9th कंसेक्यूटिव टाइम आरबीआई ने रेपो रेट अनचेंज रखा. डू यू सी कि हम फर्दर कट कब एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं?
So I think earlier ये देखा गया था. Now RBI used to follow maybe say Fed or other major central banks. उसी tandem में we used to see that interest rate change happening. Now since the pandemic, I think inflation growth and the balance between other economic data points is also very important to manage. So RBI is not looking to follow say ECB or BOE, who've already announced a cut. They are also, I'll say, not looking to follow Fed, but RBI, I think, very supportively is trying to look at how India's growth, how India's inflation is, at what point could because food inflation was a concern for India till about say a few months back, and again we could see some bit of concern. Energy prices was also one in the list. So RBI is trying to create a balance between inflation and growth, and then look at a cut. As opposite to Fed, I think for Fed, inflation was a concern and is still a concern for few Fed officials. They are already at 3%. Their target is 2%. But few Fed officials still feel that labor market is easing off. Like we are discussing, recessionary fears are there, again in the market. So rate cut could be as soon as September, as the probability chart is suggesting. So even if the Fed, announces it in September, RBI could still wait and see how inflation growth is looking, and then maybe announce a cut post that.
माई लास्ट क्वेश्चन मानव, प्राइसिंग के लिए मैं पूछूंगी. गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर का प्राइस आप कितना एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं? लाइक हाउ मच प्राइस वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट इन फ्यूचर, बिकॉज सिल्वर पे हमने एक स्पेशल एपिसोड भी करा था, दैट वाज इन जुलाई. 3rd जुलाई को सिल्वर का प्राइस गया था आई थिंक 96,000.
Right.
एंड देयर वाज द एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑल्सो, एनालिस्ट बोल रहे थे कि बाय द एंड ऑफ द ईयर इट कैन go to 1 lakh.
Right.
Abhi, it is in something around 83,000 or something.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
What's your view? So, 1 lakh तक जा सकता है या क्या हो सकता है?
So I think during that time, at around 80,000 only, where 75, 80,000, we had in-house released a report that in about a 12 months perspective, silver could touch 1 lakh. And in the last month, we released a report saying that silver could touch about 1,25,000 in about a 12 to 15 month perspective. Now, first, just talking about silver on a broader perspective, I think on the lower level, 78,000 on domestic front and 76,000 is a very key support. If we get around those levels, it's a very good buying opportunity for an investor from a longer term perspective, because the factors that we have been discussing for silver, industrial metals in China is also a big story which is playing out. So these two levels are a very good support to buy in. On the higher side, I think till December, 94, 96,000, that is the all-time high zone. That could be the levels that we could, see once again till December. But on a longer time frame, we still have a view that it could, touch higher levels. Now we released a report at 1,25,000, but if we cut out the 9% duty impact, so that is still about 1,10,000, 1,15,000 on a 12-month perspective. Just to highlight on gold as well, I think we released a report on a longer time frame for about 81,000 target, same time frame, 12 to 15-month perspective. Now, if you 9% duty cut, if we levy in, still that is above the 75,000, 76,000 zone. So at the current levels, I think we are near the support zone. 68,000 is a very good support for gold. Any ranges around those levels is a very good entry level. And buying on dips should be the strategy for both gold and silver. If you're allocating for the portfolio as a whole.
Okay. So, do you recommend the in the ETFs or the over the physical?
So I think for each to its own, just to put it in place. Definitely, every asset class and investment portal has a each risk idea or risk profile. Now, ETF definitely gives you a bit of a flexibility, and so ETF is a very good investment tool for any investor looking at a long term or a short term kind of an investment with a bit of a flexibility. You have the units and the NAV benefit. Now, for physical, definitely the added cost is the making charges and GST. So, if you're going to invest in terms of jewelry, I think physical is good. But if it's a pure investment idea, then I think ETF or investing through derivatives, that is on the MCX or other platforms, should be the one that you should look at. But based on the risk profile and the tenure that you're looking at, ETF, digital gold, or physical, or on the derivative should be your ideal investment portal.
चलिए, थैंक यू सो मच मानव, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग इन और अपना टाइम देने के लिए ओ माय फाइनेंस को.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you for having me and discussing on gold and silver.
तो आज इस पॉडकास्ट में इतना ही, लेकिन जल्द ही किसी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक को लेकर आएंगे आपके सामने नेक्स्ट वीक. टिल देन चैनल को जरूर सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए. टिल देन हैप्पी इन्वेस्टिंग.